I will officially open the meeting at 5:34, and I'll apologise in advance to those people who are watching the recording. We did intend to live stream, but we've had a bit of internet trouble, I think. To open the meeting, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of these lands, waters and skies, the Wadawurrung people. We acknowledge and respect their continuing connections to their lands, waters, skies, culture, and the contribution they make to the life and spirit of our community. We pay respect to their past and present elders and extend this respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Welcome to the gallery. This is a special meeting of council to elect some of the formal positions on council and to appoint some delegations. So it's a little bit unusual in that I will chair the meeting until we have elected the mayor. So that process is consistent with clause 7 of the Borough of Queenscliff Governance Rules, and we'll proceed along those lines. First item just to note is that the councillors were sworn into office last week, and we have in the agenda and in the minutes will be a record of the oath and affirmation of the 5 councillors that were elected. We don't need to formally note those, but I can confirm that all the councillors signed and dated their documentation, and we've advised the inspectorate that that's all been done in accordance with the requirements. Okay, I think we're all here. Thank you. We have conflicts of interest. Is there any councillors that have a conflict of interest? No? Any of the officers present? No. So item 4 is the mayoral election. And if you bear with me, I'll just give a brief introduction for those that haven't previously attended one of these council meetings. So in accordance with section 25 of the Local Government Act, at a meeting of council that is open to the public, the councillors must elect a councillor to be mayor of the council. In accordance with section 25(3)(a) of the Act and clause 7 of the Borough of Queenscliff Governance Rules, as we stated earlier, I'll preside for the purposes of the election of the mayor. If the mayor is elected for a 1-year term, the next election of the mayor must be held on a day to be determined by council that is as close to the end of 1-year term as reasonably practicable, and that's in accordance with section 26(4) of the Act. So just some background on the mayor's role. So section 18 of the Act provides that the role of the mayor is to chair council meetings, be the principal spokesperson for the council, lead engagement with the municipal community on the development of the council plan, report to the municipal community at least once a year on the implementation of the council plan, promote behaviour amongst councillors that meets the standards of conduct set out in the Councillor Code of Conduct, assist councillors to understand their role, take a leadership role in ensuring the regular review of the performance of the Chief Executive Officer, and provide advice to the Chief Executive Officer when the Chief Executive Officer is setting the agenda for council meetings. And then the final role really is to perform civic and ceremonial duties on behalf of the council. The Act wants us to note that the mayor, once elected, is not eligible to the office of Deputy Mayor. So the mayor has the following specific powers per section 19 of the Act: to appoint a councillor to be chair of a delegated committee, to direct a councillor subject to any procedures or limitations specified in the governance rules, to leave a council meeting if the behaviour of the councillor is preventing the council from conducting its business, to require the Chief Executive Officer to report to the council on the implementation of a council decision. So before we elect the mayor, council is required to determine by resolution whether the mayor will be elected for a 1 or 2-year term. So councillors, the first decision we need to make tonight is whether or not we set the mayoral term for a year or 2 years. So, open up, Councillor Tolhurst.
Thank you, Martin. I move that the council set the mayoral term for 1 year.
Do we have someone to second?
I second that.
So, with that in mind, I'll take a vote. Are all those in favour of a 1 year term?
Yes.
4.2 is the election of the mayor. So what I'll do, so what I'll do now is I'll call for nominations for the office of mayor. And just to note that the mayor must be elected by an absolute majority of the councillors, and in our case, that means greater than half the total number of councillors, and that is 3. If an absolute majority of councillors cannot be obtained at the meeting, the council may resolve to conduct a new election at a later specified time and date. Hopefully we don't come to that. If one councillor is a candidate for mayor, the meeting must declare that councillor to be duly elected as mayor. So, we have a recommendation that council appoint a councillor to the role of mayor, and before we do that, I'm going to call for nominations.
I nominate myself as for mayor.
Councillor Grigau.
Thank you.
Do we have someone to second that nomination?
I'll second that nomination.
Thank you. Do we have any other nominations?
I nominate Councillor Rule for the office of mayor.
Do we have a seconder for that nomination?
Yep, I'll second that.
Any other nominations? That being the case, I'll call for a vote, and we'll go in the order that we've received them. So, I will ask for councillors to vote on the Councillor Grigau to the role of mayor. Do I have those in favour? Those against? 3. Not an absolute majority at this point. So I'll go to the second nomination, which is Councillor Rule. Those in favour? And those against? So we do have an absolute majority there, and so I'm pleased to declare that Councillor Rule is Mayor of Council, and I'll hand over to the Chair.
Thank you, CEO Gill. We now move on to 4.3, which is the election of a deputy mayor. Section 20A1 of the Act provides that council may establish an office of deputy mayor. The deputy mayor must perform the role of the mayor and may exercise any of the powers of the mayor if the mayor is unable for any reason to attend a council meeting or part of a council meeting, or the mayor is incapable of performing the duties of the office of mayor for any reason, including illness, or the office of mayor is vacant. So our recommendation is that council determines whether it wishes to establish the role of deputy mayor for the mayoral period. Do I have anybody that'd like to move a motion? Councillor Tolhurst.
I move that council establish the role of deputy mayor for the mayoral period of 1 year.
The seconder?
Yep, I'll second that.
Your Councillor Monaghan. Given that we've determined that there will be a deputy mayor for the borough of Queenscliff. We need to take a vote. Thank you very much. Could I have a vote to that effect? All those in favour of a deputy mayor of 1 year term? Thank you. Unanimous. Given that we've determined that, we now call for nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor. Do I have any nominations for?
I will nominate Councillor Elaine Cameron as Deputy Mayor for the 1-year term.
I have a seconder for that. Thank you. So Councillor Gregow moving and Councillor Cameron seconding. Do we have any other nominations for the role of Deputy Mayor? Sorry, Councillor Tolhurst.
I nominate Councillor Monaghan for the position of Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. We have a seconder for that. Thank you. Right, given that we have 2 nominations and following the CEO's lead, we'll vote first for the position of Deputy Mayor, suggesting Councillor Cameron. All those in favour? All those against? Not a majority at this stage. Second candidate, Councillor Monaghan, for the position of the role of Deputy Mayor. All those in favour? All those against? Being a majority, I now announce that Councillor Monaghan is Deputy Mayor for this first year. Just before we go on to business, I would like to indulge in a speech. First of all, I'd like to thank all the councillors here for the opportunity to serve in the community that I love. I grew up here. I went to Queenscliff Kindergarten, Queenscliff and Point Lonsdale Primary Schools and Queenscliff High School. My family has been here for generations, and my daughter and grandson live here now, making it the 6th and 7th generations on maternal and paternal sides of our family. My mother was widowed at 35, and this community wrapped their arms around us and cared for and supported us. Nothing was too much trouble, and my brother and I have never missed out on doing anything as a consequence of that. And what a haven it was to grow up in. At an induction session we all attended as councillors last week, we recognised as a group what a precious place this is. And we all appreciated the privilege of living here. We also agreed that we want to protect and maintain this beautiful space for now and into the future, its environment, its heritage. But the borough is small, and our biggest challenge is to remain relevant and independent, not overtaken by any neighbouring councils. And the borough also only raises limited funds each year, so we need to make sure every dollar is spent carefully on doing what matters, on the delivery of services that improve our lives, on the management of our coastal and marine areas. To do that, we need tight governance, an efficient administration, transparent budgeting, streamlined systems, completion of quality projects on time and within budget, and we need to fund more capital works by trimming costs and thinking outside the square to raise revenue. We can't do it all ourselves. We need this wonderful community to once again embrace us, support us, and tell us what they want. Only through this extensive community engagement can we as a council make informed decisions and make our twin towns an even more brilliant place to be. I look forward to the task ahead, and I look forward to working with all of you in achieving those things. Thank you. Now we have quite a few appointments to get through. under item 5, governance and finance. The first ones are council portfolios that are in alignment with our council plan. And those portfolios are broken up into 5 groups. I'd like it if someone might be able to offer their services for being responsible for each of those portfolios. The first one is health and wellbeing. Do I have anybody?
Yes, I'll do that.
Thank you, Councillor Grigo. The next one is environment.
Pleasure to take environment.
Thank you, Councillor Cameron. The next one, local economy.
I like that one, thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Monaghan. Governance and finance. Thank you, Councillor Tolhurst. And I'd like to put my name up for heritage, planning and infrastructure. Thank you. Now, for streaming, not streaming on there, but for the admin, shall we go through each of these appointments and then move and second, or would you like to move and second each section as we go? Okay. All right. Given that we've now got 5 names for each of those portfolios, could I have someone move the motion that the councillor appointments to those portfolios for a 12-month period go ahead?
Yes, I'll move the appointments of the 5 councillors for the 5 portfolios.
Thank you, Councillor Cameron. Do I have a seconder?
Yep.
Ty. Councillor Grigard. All those in favour? Thank you. Moved unanimously. Another of the areas that we need to consider a representation on is Council's Audit and Risk Committee, and the Act requires that the Mayor be on that particular committee. Not necessarily? All right, well, we thought that it was. Sorry? Oh, all right, okay. Thank you. So I need 2 or 3 nominations for that.
May I move, Mayor, that Council appoints Councillor Rule, given your express interest and given my interest as well, so Councillor Rule and Councillor Tolhurst to the Council's Audit and Risk Committee.
Thank you, Councillor Tolhurst. Are there any others? Could I have a seconder to that? Thank you, Councillor Monaghan. Moved, Councillor Tolhurst, seconded, Councillor Monaghan, that we have Councillor Tolhurst and myself on the Council Audit and Risk Committee. All in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. The next one is the CEO Employment and Remuneration Advisory Committee. And there, the request is the Mayor and 2 other councillors. Would anybody like to move?
I would like to put my hand up to be on the CEO Employment and Remuneration Advisory Committee.
Thank you. And a seconder, do we need for that individually? Put together. Did anybody have anyone else that wanted to be on that?
Yep, I'll join that one as well.
All right, thank you. Given that that fills the 2 positions, we don't need to do a vote, do we? Okay, we will do a vote. All right, could I have someone move that?
I will move that motion for those committees.
All right, the representatives on the CEO Employment and Remuneration Advisory Committee are Council.
Second.
Yep.
That's right.
And the seconder to that is?
Yep.
Thank you. Councillor Grigard. All right, and a vote for that, thank you. Unanimous. Now we have a group of delegates for the state, regional and local organisations.
Mayor, may I move a motion with the
Thank you.
following proposal based on the portfolios and relevant appointments related to mayoralty and deputy mayoralty? So that is for the Geelong Regional Library Corporation, Councillor Tolhurst. Geelong Heritage Centre Collection Advisory Committee, Councillor Rule. Municipal Association of Victoria, Councillor Rule. Tourism Greater Geelong and the Bellarine Board, Councillor Monaghan. G21 Region Alliance Board, Councillor Rule. G21 Health and Wellbeing Pillar, Councillor Gregow. G21 Cultural and Economic Development Pillar, Councillor Monaghan. G21 Sustainability Pillar, Councillor Cameron. G21 Transport and Planning Pillar, Councillor Tolhurst. And Bellarine Community Safety Group, Councillor Gregow.
Thank you, Councillor Tolhurst. Do I have a seconder to that? Thank you, Councillor Monaghan. All those in favour of that motion? Unanimously passed again. Thank you. And finally, we need an appointment for councillor representation on various reference groups. Do we want to have somebody move that be done as a group? Councillor Cameron?
Yes, so I would like to announce that we have for councillor representation on various reference groups. For community grants and events sponsorship advisory reference group is Councillor Gregow. Lived Experience Disability Group is also Councillor Gregow. Coastal Marine Management Plan Steering Committee will be Councillor Cameron, myself and Councillor Tolhurst. The Point Lonsdale Lighthouse Reserve Project Control Group is Councillor Rule and Councillor Tolhurst.
Cameron.
Oh, all right, we've got an extra one there. For the Lived Experience Disability Group is also Councillor Monaghan. A lot of these groups are also, the Mayor represents the borough on these, so therefore you'll notice that in a lot of these, like the ones above, the MAV and areas, they are expected to be attended by the Mayor. So just so if you think, my goodness, there's a lot being weighted that way, that's a responsibility.
Thank you to Councillor Cameron.
I'd like to.
Yep. Yes. No, Councillor Monaghan is the Lived Experience Disability Group as well as Councillor Gregow. Yes. Yes. No, just the two of us. Yes.
Point of order.
It's actually Councillor Cameron.
Pardon? Okay. Done.
Councillor Cameron, is that what you understood?
Yes, yes, yes. I've probably had lots of little scribbles here.
All right, thank you. Could I have a yes? No, I think that Councillor Cameron was referring to some of the appointments back in section D. So, yeah, do we have a seconder for that? Thank you, Councillor Gregow. And all those in favour? Just to double check, Community Grants and Events, Councillor Gregow. Lived Experience Disability Group, Councillors Gregow and Monaghan. Coastal and Marine Management Plan Steering Committee, Councillors Cameron and Tolhurst. And the Point Lonsdale Lighthouse Reserve Project Control Group, Councillors Cameron and Rule. It was unanimous, thank you. All right, thank you very much, and I would like to now declare the meeting closed at 6 p.m. Thank you.